What's up, boys? It's been a minute. Today I have a Mr. Pandaria Classic challenge mode for you guys. I'm going to be showing you how to get gold in Scarlet Monastery. Now the timer here can be as tight as we're not going to finish that one. The timer can be a little tight, but mechanically the dungeon is very easy. Composition-wise, try and bring classes that have plenty of AoE stuns, or ideally a druid with a solar beam. You'll see why later on. Now for this first pull here, pull the first pack on the left side, nuke down the pile of corpses so more zombie corpses don't spawn. Zombie corpses? Whatever. Anyways, more ads don't spawn, and just kill the rest. Do interrupt the flamethrower channel. There's no reason not to. It's extra damage. There's nothing else to interrupt here. And just burn that pack down. That pack is very easy. Nothing to worry about there. Now, once you kill that pack, make sure you hug the left side here. You're basically going to pull all the way up to the boss, or go all the way up to the boss, and you're going to get ready to pull these two Frenzied Spirit packs on the left and the right. Now, this pull can be a little spicy. What they do is, as they start meleeing the tank, they will gain a stacking damage buff. You'll see in a second. Basically, if your tank stays in melee long enough, he'll get one shot, deleted off the face of the game. So, make sure your tank gets as much aggro as possible, and as they get buffed up, he just runs out of melee, so they don't get one shot. Good news is, it does also slow them, so they're very easily kiteable. That frost trap I put down probably wasn't even necessary. Again, just make sure your tank runs out of melee before he gets deleted. He gets dusted. Now, go ahead and pull the boss. This boss is very easy. He's just going to spawn a ton of ads. These Fallen Crusader ads, just make sure your tank picks them up, and make sure he gets obviously aggro on them so they don't hit the melee or all the DPS, and just slowly cleave them down. Now, the boss will also cast a debuff called Evict Soul. This does put a large dot on whoever gets it, so make sure your healer is aware. And it will also spawn some spirit ads that will target the closest person to them. So make sure those spirit ads do get AoE down pretty fast. If they're left up long enough, DPS can actually die from that. Now, the only other ad he will spawn are these empowered zombies. Basically, will spawn a spirit that'll run into a corpse that will spawn these empowered zombies. Just make sure your tank gets aggro on them, otherwise completely ignore them. They have way too much health to kill. And just focus your DPS all on the boss. The only other thing to mention here is the boss does have, an interruptible cast, that Spirit Gale cast. Interrupt it if you can. If it goes off, though, not a big deal. It's just going to place those purple pools on the ground. Don't stand in them. I mean, turn your monitor on. Just look at your monitor and don't stand on them, guys. I mean, come on. Otherwise, that's the boss. Now, I want to take a second to talk about composition again. You're going to see in the following hallway here, and also when you get in the Astral Cathedral, there's some very dangerous mobs in there that do some very dangerous casts, and it's a lot of them. You won't be able to interrupt them all, so you want a good, solid AoE stun rotation, or ideally, like we have here, a druid with Solar Beam. I mean, Solar Beam completely trivializes this part of the dungeon. So after you kill the first boss, you're going to head into the next set of hallways. Now we end up pulling these neutral mobs, the yellow mobs here, just because fuck it. But you do not need them for the mob count. You do not need to pull those if you don't want to. Now, this pack here is the first danger pack. You can see they're all doing a cast. Every single cast sucks here. So use your solar beam here like we do here, any AoE stuns you have, and any single target interrupts. The two best casts to interrupt are definitely going to be the heal cast from the Zealot for obvious reasons, and also when the Scarlet Purifiers cast Flame Strike, that'll put a lot of stress on your healer. Make sure you interrupt those as much as possible. And the third one, if you're going to use anything, are those Purifying Flames. They absolutely annihilate the tank. Ideally, though, you have a solid solar beam, a solid AoE stun rotation, where you can basically get most of the cast through that. If you have Blood Elves in your group, Horde Superiority, of course, especially during MoP, Arcane Torrent is perfect for this. Make sure once you do, you pull that pack, you do also clear this pack down at the hallway here. If you feel you have enough CC, you could try and pull both packs together, although it's going to be kind of rough getting them together since they do channel so much. Maybe you could LOS around the corner here. Now, at this point, once you clear both packs, you do need an invisibility potion. Do use the 18-second one. You don't need a speed boost here. We have Aspect of the Pact and Stampeding Roar, but this one is a short run where they're basically not necessary. It just makes it a little bit safer here. So go ahead and use your invisibility potion. Make sure hunters, DKs, any type of pet class, warlocks, they dismiss their pets, they will get aggro. And if you are going to use a speed boost like Stampeding Roar or Aspect of the Pact, make sure you pop it before you actually use the actual invisibility potion. Otherwise, it will take you out of invis. Now, wait for Brother Olaf here, whatever his name, whatever the hell it, Baldy here. Wait for him to pack into or patrol into the middle. And once he does, you're going to pull him into the water fountain with you guys. Now, this boss is also another easy one. He's a flame boy, he's a fire boy, he's straight out of Rocky 4. This guy, basically, he's going to charge the range, as you can see here, and do a Firestorm Kick. It's a gigantic AoE circle of fire. Don't stand in it. Now, the first one, melee, can probably stand in and still do good damage to the boss. Depends on your healer, maybe even the first two. However, as the fight goes on, he will gain a stacking fire damage buff, basically increasing the fire damage that he does. So standing in that fire circle will eventually just kill you. Again, depending on the healer, you could probably stand in the first two, maybe three. Other than that, though, the boss only has two other abilities. The boss, the main tank one, is he'll do a bunch of fire fists. He'll set his flames ablaze, you'll see here in a second, and just start doing a bunch of fire fists at the tank. Now, the tank actually does not have to stand in this. He can if he wants more damage for vengeance, right? Obviously, but the tank does not need to stand in it. He can move away. So let's say the fight goes on for a little bit longer and the boss has super high fire buff stacks. The tank might want to move out of it so he doesn't get one shot. Again, though, if you can tank it, definitely stay in it. You'll gain that vengeance damage, and that way you do more damage to the boss. Otherwise, though, the only other thing the boss does, he'll put those flame patches on the ground. I have the brain cells of a box of cheeses, so naturally I stood in it for a little bit. If you run through it, it's not going to kill you. As long as you're just not constantly standing on it, draining your healer's mana, you guys will be fine. As you can see here, the tank did move out of it. Healer got a little adventurous. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Guys, you can still clear this even if you have like 2 or 3 deaths. 3 might be too much, but like 2 deaths, you'll be fine, even if you use like a slow res here. This boss is very easy. Kill him, get ready to go into the Scarlet Monastery, or the actual cathedral itself. So once you kill that boss, you can mount up, and you're about to stay right in the middle in between those packs. You do not want to pull those. You do not need them for the mob count. We actually could have skipped a little bit more here. We actually went a little over mob count, but for sure, don't pull those Scarlet Fanatics. Now, we do this in basically at least this hallway here in 2 major pulls. These are another one of those packs with the Danger Cast, right? The Purifiers, Zealots, and the Fanatics. You're going to want to pull as many as you're comfortable with, and LOS around the corner here. And then again, once you have them here, use your AoE stuns, Solar Beam, any interrupts you have to prevent all these casts from going off. Again, if you could get a Druid with I mean, look at this. Look at this. They just melee now. It does nothing. Solar Beam is one of the best abilities in the game right now. Disgusting ability. Bring a Druid with a Solar Beam if you can. Kill those off, do it in 2 pulls, 3 pulls if you're not comfortable with it, or if your CC isn't that great. After that, you could head inside here and pull these later packs. You can pull them around that LOS corner again, but these pillars are also line of sight, so you can just use those. DKs are also nice here for grips, or you could also use range interrupts to cast or to interrupt the cast and bring them in. Now you're going to see here what happens when some of these casts go off. If you just look at our health here, we let a few of these casts go off and we're just taking a ton of damage. Guys, make sure you're interrupting here. Ignore the fact that my interrupt is currently not on cooldown. It is what it is, guys, okay? You can't win them all. So make sure here. Now, at this point in Heroic, you would probably pull the boss and not worry about it. However, on challenge modes, if you pull the boss before clearing every single mob in this hallway, including the mobs on the left and the right, they will aggro with the boss. Depending on your comp, you might actually be able to pull that off. It's going to make it extremely hard, though. It will save you time, though, if you could not die while you do it. Again, if you have that really solid composition with AoE stuns and a Solar Beam, you could probably pull the boss in maybe into one of those rooms or line of sight around a pillar and try and nuke down a large number of the packs. I don't recommend it. You're going to get railed. Anyways, make sure you pull this right side pack here. These initiates will do a ton of casts. It's just a lot of damage on the tank. Make sure, and honestly everyone else, make sure you, again, same thing, AoE stuns. Look at that Solar Beam. Look at that beautiful beam of light. Oh, it's so good. Guys, even if you have a Druid that doesn't do a lot of damage, I think the Solar Beam it's just worth bringing a Druid just for that. Anyways, clear the whole hallway, clear the entire room. Then you could go ahead and pull Commander Durand here. And this fight is mostly the same as it is on Heroic. There is, however, one extra cast with White Mane you do want to look out for. Now, Commander Durand, pest. Absolute pest. I mean, look at this, especially if you're a melee. Annoying. Make sure you don't have to be super spread out here. Make sure you are a little spread. The boss, besides that, I don't even know what it's called. That first ability he just did there, the dash is around. He will do like a normal dash forward, and that can hit multiple people. So if you're all stacked up and you all get charged, it probably won't one-shot you, but if you're fighting both bosses at once, maybe someone's low, someone might get, I don't know, absolutely deleted. Just do yourself a favor. Stay a little bit spread out so you avoid getting that. Now, for melee, when he does this charge thing, suck it up, bitch. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? Anyways, go ahead and kill Commander Durand. He's a joke. He basically does nothing, though. He's not the one you need to worry about. Now, once you kill Durand here, White Mane will spawn, as you guys know, and there's 2 important casts you need to look out for here. The Holy Smite, ignore that. If you have the interrupts to spare, go ahead. Otherwise, not a big deal. The first cast, important one, is obviously Mass Resurrection. It does exactly what it sounds. She's going to resurrect all of the ads, or I think it's just, not all of them, but a large amount of the ads in the room, and you're basically going to start having a bad time, and you might also end up missing the timer, because now that's DPS, you have to focus on trying to get rid of the ads so you don't all die. The other cast she does, as you saw before, and you'll see in a second, is going to be the Dominate Mind cast. You'll see in the second phase. When she does reach 50%, she will go ahead and resurrect as normal. So Mass Resurrection and Dominate Mind, make sure those 2 casts are interrupted. Basically, when she casts Dominate Mind, she'll basically show her thighs to someone in the dungeon group, and she will mind control them. Obviously, not good unless you're the one staring at her thighs. There it is right there. Make sure you interrupt that. Basically, what we did was we had one person dedicated to Dominate Mind 100%. He's not interrupting anything else, just to make sure that cast does not go off. That will be a bad time right there. And then, of course, we had just me and another one of our DPS just rotating interrupts on Mass Resurrection. You probably don't even need a DPS rotation for it. It's cast pretty infrequently. Otherwise, and if you have extra interrupts in there, just use it on the Holy Smite. And otherwise, guys, the fight is the exact same as Phase 1 and, well, I guess Phase 2, if you want to consider this Phase 3. You're just fighting both of the bosses at the same time. Make sure you nuke down White Mane as fast as possible, just to prevent, lessen the chance of one of those casts going off. And once she's dead, you're pretty much done with the fight. However, here you can see on the right, the timer is getting a little bit close. So depending on your damage, you might be a little bit closer than we are, or maybe you might have more time than we are. It's all dependent on your damage and what you were able to skip. We probably could have shaved off. We definitely overpulled on the amount of mobs we needed. We probably could have skipped a little bit more. Maybe with Stampeding Roar and Aspect of the Pack, we probably could have skipped that first hallway after the first boss. But it wasn't necessary. We still end up clearing in time, as you'll see in a second. This dungeon isn't that bad. Composition-wise, again, make sure you try and bring as many AoE stuns as possible, or ideally a druid with a solar beam. And that's it, guys. That's Scarlet Monastery on Gold. GG. Easy dungeon. That's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. And more guides, more challenge mode guides will be coming. I do have plans for that. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. You really think I'd forget to say it? Nah, you didn't think that. I know you didn't think that. Halo 3 is the best Halo, and that is a fact. Halo 2 is great. Love it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Not a 9 out of 10. What am I, crazy? It's a 10 out of 10. But Halo 3? If Halo 2 is here, here's Halo 3. And that's a fucking fact. See you, boys.